It's me, Joshua, aka Fish3940 here once again, and it's that time again. And why do I say that? Because the first ever Star Wars Anthology spinoff ever is Rogue One. Star Wars story is the newest Star Wars film in the epic Star Wars saga, and is directed by Gareth Edwards, who gave us the badass 2014 Godzilla movie reboot that is misunderstood, in my opinion. It is also written by Tony Gilroy, who is the writer of the Jason Bourne movies, including The Bourne Legacy, and stars Felicity Jones, Donnie Yen, Diego Luna, Mikkelsen, and Forest Whitaker. And it is also the 9th entry to be released if you count the Clone Wars animated film from 2008. If you guys have been keeping up with me on my channel, you may realize that I reviewed every single Star Wars movie, including The Force Awakens, 2008 Clone Wars show, animated Cartoon Network series and movie, and the Empire Dreams documentary film. So I have very high expectations, hearing that it will be the first series of spin-off films, and because we would get to see how the Death Star plans were stolen, and seeing all of the overwhelmingly positive responses from news articles where people say on Twitter it's an awesome Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back, which is still my least favorite film in the original trilogy, but still love it. And seeing the score on Rotten Tomatoes, even though I still hate that website with a lot of anger, that would tell me this film would be great. But does this movie deliver? Let's find out. The premise of this movie is that it takes place during episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith and before episode 4, A New Hope. And we follow the character of Jyn Erso, played amazingly by the lovely and gorgeously talented Felicity Jones, who is a fighter, and she is looking for her father, played by Mikkelsen. But then we continue the story when the Mon Mothma plan to assemble a team of rebel fighters, steal the Death Star plans, and Jyn is teamed up with a group of rebels to carry out this mission. And that's pretty much the premise in my own version to describe it. Now, going into this movie, I was very hyped and excited about it because I was very much anticipating this, but I was also a little cautious because of the news surrounding the film that the movie went into reshoots and news of the original composer had been replaced during the final stages of production. So yeah, I was a little nervous, but man, this movie is freaking epic. I enjoyed the living heck out of Rogue One. Is it better than The Force Awakens? No, it isn't, but it is an amazingly epic winter blockbuster movie, one that I enjoy very much. I'm not going to say this movie is a masterpiece like I did with The Force Awakens, in which that movie is and still is a masterpiece. But this movie is a great movie, but I also have some complaints and nitpicks. But before I get into this, I'm going to say that this is a complete spoiler-free review. I will do a spoiler-filled review as well as spoiler discussion on my friend Parker's channel. So let's get on to the review. First, let me talk about my positives about the movie. The acting in this movie is superb. Everyone is on point. You have Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso, and she is very attractive, hot, badass female lead character, and I like the idea of these new Star Wars films having a female character as our main character. And I love Felicity Jones as an actress. She's beautiful, she's amazing, she's not afraid to show her acting abilities, and she's very attractive. So right next to Daisy Ridley, Emma Watson, Kate Beckinsale, Sophie Turner, Cara Delevingne, and Amelia Clark. She's also very gorgeous, and she's also very hot. I love the characterization of Jyn. She was badass, she was a hot one at that, and especially when she's in the rebel suit in this film. Forest Whitaker, Saw Gerrera. Now, if you guys know this character, he is one of the characters from the animated Clone Wars show, and I liked how that was brought in, and Forest Whitaker is an amazing actor. And I love that his character was a fighter in the Clone Wars, and his performance was outstanding. But back to Jyn Erso for a minute. This is one of the most badass female leads I've seen in a Star Wars film since Princess Leia, Padme Amidala, Ahsoka Tano, and of course Rey. And I love that with the female characters. I loved Mads Mikkelsen in this movie as well. His character was very great. But I will have to say he is a little underused a bit. And Alan Tudyk as the new droid in this film, I liked him. He was very cool and very smart. Kind of reminded me of Anthony Daniels' C-3PO in the other film. And Tony Gilroy does an amazing job as a director and writer respectively. The two crafted a 133-minute long film of awesomeness, and the film's tone is even more darker than Revenge of the Sith. And with the PG-13 rating, this film is telling you that it's a much more darker tone film. And the way the cinematography looks in this film, it reminds me a lot of Saving Private Ryan. And Michael Giacchino's score for the film does an impressive job of making it feel like Star Wars, but also making it feel like a World War II score in this universe. He does replace original composer Alexander Desplat, who wrote original music for the film before being replaced, and it does sound fine with it. They also include some of John Williams' themes in there too. There is a lot of action in here, and the action looks beautiful and the effects look great. There is some CGI, but there are some practical effects in here too. It feels like the action and the war scenes of a World War II movie. And a big question that Star Wars fans have been asking for years is finally put to rest in this film. I won't say, but I will in my spoiler talk. And the last positive I have to say is James Earl Jones as the iconic Darth Vader in this movie. And I will say, Darth Vader, he has his moments. Is this movie perfect? No, there are some flaws that I do have with this movie. Some of the rebel characters aren't fully developed, and most of them are just either here or not used effectively. Most of the film does come off a little bit slow in the first act, and it's not that I hate the runtime, I'm just not that used to certain parts of this movie dragging throughout the whole movie. Now, because of the reshoots, most of the film does feel a little off, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because it's not anyone's fault. I will say reshoots were necessary because this is a Star Wars movie, and reshoots are a thing with movies and TV shows. And I heard that there was an early cut of the film that was R-rated, and the PG-13 rating is better because Star Wars is a franchise that does not deserve to be rated anything but PG-13, because an R-rated Star Wars movie will basically kill the Star Wars saga. And I was surprised to see Darth Vader, and it does suck that he has a minor role, but at least he came back, and at least we did get him again, because I don't think we need 20 minutes of Darth Vader scenes in this movie, because this is a film about the Death Star plans. It is not about Darth Vader. Face it, we've had 2 trilogies dedicated to him. We don't need a spin-off dedicated to him. But I still have fun with Rogue One. It's not perfect, but it's not an unnecessary spin-off, as people have said before Rogue One even came out. I would definitely buy this with the other films once it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm going to give Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, an epic-tastic, which in letter format, that is an A-. It's not perfect, but it is an epic new entry in the Star Wars saga. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. I will do a spoiler talk of my own before I do discussion, because my friend Marcus Michael, he will be hosting it. So yeah, that's what's coming. Stay tuned for my review of Passengers, starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, which comes out coming up Wednesday, December 21st, as well as an early review for Underworld 5 Blood Wars, my review of Resident Evil Apocalypse, where I will be continuing my Resident Evil reviews leading up to Resident Evil 6, the final chapter, coming out January 26th, I think, and more Christmas reviews coming on my channel. And if you haven't seen my other Star Wars reviews, I will be sharing that here in a second. You can find me here on my channel, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, and on my Facebook group, YouTube Friends, and on the Nerd Pack. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and until then, this is Future Filmmaker 3940 signing out.